recording Zoom too.
Oh, I don't think we're recording anything. It was,
I didn't know we were on Zoom. It would have recorded any commentary we just had about any certain someone's.
really? Well, I can read it. Yeah.
Okay, so we need to,
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Pretty good. There it is.
Edge. All right. And nobody's here yet. Congrats. Yeah, it's just been a busy week. What had I done wrong on the connections? So I didn't do that.
It was just in a different setting. It was in,
Oh, it's on the computer, not the cords.
well, oh no, I had nothing to do with the chords. It was that, but it's just like a setting within, it's supposed to be in conversation setting and it was in presentation setting.
Oh.
I have no idea how that happened,
So
but it was in.
So I did make a mistake.
Yeah, it was through Zoom. I don't, we just had to, I just went in when we logged up to Zoom and just switched to that. I don't know how that happened.
So.
Easy enough though. Oh,
So am I gonna sit there?
you're so yeah, you can, do you want me to take the computer?
Well, if you wanna do the computer, that's fine with me, it'd be a release.
Yeah, okay.
Not having to.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Good. So you're gonna be at a wedding or somewhere in September,
In
maybe.
Mississippi, yeah.
So, no, so I have to.
Hey.
Where else wants to go?
All the way to the back.
To go out?
All the way to the back.
Okay. No, you need to be, I'm gonna have to save Marco, because Candace can't.
Oh, no, we don't need to go to September. For the governing board, I'll be able to take it, but.
Yeah, no, but for governing board, make sure we're all on track. I'm gonna have to see who can be there, i.e. can Marco be there.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I was not ignoring you.
About,
About the inventory. I didn't realize you guys had already done it.
oh yeah, no worries.
We did that wonderful adventure.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have a. Did I? Inventory is really close, but that's all, but we weren't inventorying our inventory. We were inventorying for existing flyers for outreach for Jazz and the Stars.
That's what we need to do.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Right. That's important. I left, I have the thing from Jefferson. Yeah, but I already know it's, I mean, in other words, we haven't started a meeting, but in other words, we need to have plan downs for 3 days. And I'm gonna do a check in for meeting here. And
Okay, so I guess I should have been more specific.
No worries. So
only not inventory.
we just need to inventory how many for the stock. What's the
No, I wanna know, okay, like we have flyers on composting. But do we have them there?
Oh.
I now have them digitally, I've
We have-
printed them before. How much
okay.
we have?
We
Right,
have lots of boxes now. I'm
yeah,
definitely
we
down.
have flyers on emergency preparedness.
I feel
We definitely went over there and like looked at them, but I don't think we said like, okay, these are the flyers that we have. I think we just put like paperwork, like.
Right,
I
okay.
think.
So in other.
It's 150 that.
Right,
You can try that inventory if you're.
right, because.
I'm happy to help for sure. I just don't have it. I think you have everything three.
I did give you her key.
Never.
Teresa said she gave you her key.
I never got her key.
Yeah, okay, Grace had, it turns out I did have a key, it works, Grace took it. Because I mean, that's how we know it works, Grace has it, and then she was gonna make multiple keys. So,
I can call her.
yeah, but that's the issue, Grace has one or more keys.
Okay, I'm definitely down to help if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, cause Siobhan won't know where she's going.
I.
Okay, but Grace knows where she's going, so
Okay,
maybe,
that's true, that's true.
yeah, but Grace doesn't wanna have a great deal of involvement, I mean, that was her last board meeting.
Yeah, she wants
But
to,
still, committee term for a little while.
even if she just wants to meet there, give me the key there and then show me where it is, and that kind of just.
Right.
Everything.
So, if you want to, we have forum, but we don't have micro. So,
Before we go on, could we just flyers and paper, we don't need to.
well, we have touch keys at all.
We have tons of pens. Tons of pens, and we definitely did write it down. Like, think of like mappings.
Pens and flyers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many vendors there now that they do go from vendor to vendor, so
Right.
obviously we're not. We're not giving them a bag.
Or anything that we can.
Oh, do
avoid
we
that,
have bags? Actually, do we have bags?
We have, I think, some little bags for like 15 of them.
But we don't have a whole slew of those
No,
inexpensive tote
And if
bags.
you only have a few, then it's worth it.
No, yeah, we don't have the orange paper bags, you do,
I'm not sure.
I remember seeing those.
okay, so.
But that was like.
Exactly, so maybe, oh, no, a lot of people are here.
Just to. Payments that any.
So. I guess we're saying hello and we're just chit chatting because we're waiting for Michael or someone can call Michael, I know. Student status, well, I'm sorry, I ended up walking over here, so I definitely don't have. You'd be on the roster. If you had the roster on your phone, it's on. Or we should just start the meeting.
Okay.
But you say you do have the roster?
You do?
Wow. And it's unnecessary, so he's walking in now.
Right.
There you
We
go.
need to get another.
Thank you, Ms. Combs.
I told them in advance, I seem to have left my reading glasses at home, so.
I might have a pair of this readers, but
That was me. I just have my.
I
I
might
would
have
have
a
no
second
better,
pair
there
of
should
these.
be a spare pair in my bag, and so there's the spare pair that was in my bag readers the last time I forgot them 3 days ago.
Siobhan,
Teresa was here momentarily, she was also not having fun.
What color are they?
They're probably 2.5.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you. See, much better already.
Nice.
Okay.
That person.
Hi, Mike. We're gonna call the meeting to order as you're settling in, and I can move over a little, and Chris can probably move a little. But Michael scoot in there. So I'm calling the meeting to order tonight, but one of the things we're gonna talk about is who does what on executive. So one of the things, who does what is normally the vice president runs the meeting, and that should start now.
All right.
So anyway, I'm Laura Myers. Welcome to UNNC's executive committee. And, oh, you know what? Hunter, here's a little difficulty. Can't review the agenda without first putting it on the computer.
You have an extra copy or not? Speed?
We'll review the agenda in a minute. There's a folder called executive August 2025. We'll see 2 files in it. Don't worry about it. No, you don't.
No.
Sorry, there's something really wrong with it. It just isn't liked well because it goes back and forth between a map and a C.
Oh, I see.
So. Anyway, so we'll review the agenda in a minute, the roll call. Okay, Michael Soderstrom,
Present.
Candace Jackson here. Hunter Reese,
Here.
Chris Carlson.
here,
So, for everyone to know, executive committee does consist of the Laura Myers, 5. Oops, executive August 2022. I think you have to roll all the way down. See, now they're
Oh
yellow,
my gosh, okay.
and it's probably the first or the last.
There it is, there we go.
Anyway, executive committee is. Oh, we can't, because the owl for the Zoom is following us.
She can't find it, sweetheart.
I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, but we have a meeting and you see this computer is following all of the conversations. Okay. Thank you. So what I was going to say, and we are being recorded, and actually we aren't being recorded, we turned off recording.
No, I didn't, I did back.
Go back. Is that this is the first meeting of our new session of new officers with UNNC. So we have a little bit of learning curve of who's doing what and are we doing it quickly and timely or not, but so be it. So the agenda, which is up on the screen, and I can't see anybody's faces to know if they can see it. So if anyone cannot see the agenda, please just yell out. They should be able to see it. And it's actually a rather brief agenda for our normal thing. So we have a treasurer's report under executive committee, president's report. And one of the things we need to discuss, we had set a policy when we voted for the heightened how we do attendance, but we are in a season, so we need to discuss it again. What are the executive committee officers? That's us. Who has which tasks and responsibilities? We have a funding request and from the LA Korean Festival Foundation. And we have an update regarding a previous funding request that's being rejiggered a little for this new fiscal year. Discussion about our upcoming participation in the Jazz Under the Stars event, which is 3 days on Labor Day weekend. Discussion about vacancies on our UNNC board and trying to fill some of these actual board seats and then also other tasks. The executive committee is responsible for approving Broadway agenda items, and this is a mistake because the agenda items for September. Not the August meeting, but the September meeting. Full business, new business, and then we adjourn. So, okay. So that is that. So we start with general public comments and announcements on any item that is not on tonight's agenda. Any item at all. So does anybody have a public comment on any item not on tonight's agenda? Okay.
And I sent you the flyer. One of our businesses within UNNC Surfing is having a special evening event open to the community this coming Friday from I think it's 5 to 9 p.m. They have a bunch of different vendors, there are tastings and samples. It's all lit, it's come one from all. And I think last year they had very short kind of outreach and they had about 200 people in there. They put the flyer out early and I sent it. I thought UNNC should share it with our community.
Yes, I think we cannot share it with our community on MailChimp because it's a commercial event. But I think we can do it on.
It's not a paid for event. It's open to the community. It's not. You don't.
Well, if you want to eat, you have to pay.
But if you want to come and just sample things and learn about different products.
Okay, this will be Hunter's decision. My opinion is it can be on Facebook and on Insta, right? But I'm because they're more ephemeral, but I'm not sure there's any direct email to us as people.
But it's not ticketed, it's anywhere. And it's just like
Jazz in
food
the park. If
available.
you want to eat, you have to buy food, but
So
yeah,
that's
it's the
fine.
same kind of thing. It's an event.
Maybe just not like the top thing on the MailChimp. Maybe like
Well, if I have a
everything.
if I have a series, it'd be fine.
We should be,
That's fine.
we're supporting our business
That's
service. We want to be supporting our businesses within our community base.
Yeah.
And they've been very supportive of us.
Yes. Third Avenue in Washington, and I have a second one this summer. They did it, they were doing it once a year,
This place.
but yes, surf.
have a wonderful kitchen.
Yeah, okay, so it's a commercial event.
And yeah,
That's
forward that
okay.
email, and we'll sit on social media this week as well.
Awesome. Okay, all right, and are there any other public comments or announcements? Hi, Caesar, I'm guessing you have.
Yeah, I have something to say. Just this past Thursday on the first day of school, there was a big car crash here on Jefferson and Norton, close to Crenshaw. It's just the traffic accidents and that happen along Jefferson is always a thing, but it was a highlight on the first day of school though. It was like kind of a little traumatic, especially since there's the Isana school right there. It was a lot of children, so it was terrifying, I guess. That's all I wanted to say. So maybe we can eventually bring up the safety and our streets and
Yeah,
car violence. Yeah.
What do you think we can do for the Main Street part? Cause I know on Norton, they put like a school zone sign that kind of goes midway between the block. But for the major streets, do you have any thoughts about what we could maybe do like on Jefferson? Cause right, I know it's right there.
Right. Just yeah, I'm always up for reducing the car lanes and maybe making it a bus lane for along Jefferson, or maybe adding a bike lane, just reducing the amount of traffic. The flows sometimes is an idea, but I know that's a whole thing too.
Yeah.
well, Jefferson's kind of interesting. I'm saying interesting, not necessarily in a good way, because there's parts of it where it's just, if you're a driver in a car in what would be the right-hand lane, not the middle lane, you are so close to the parked cars that in itself is scary.
Right.
You know, closer to Leslie Shaw Park, for example, is scary, because I drive Jefferson. So I don't know, we saw the presentation on Pickleball side. And
Yeah.
I felt that we were, as a group, very accepting of the proposal, and we were asking questions. Then I read on Nextdoor in the following days, people from not within UNNC, a little farther west, I guess they also did a presentation at Mid-City Spirit Council. And apparently that's like, oh my God, no, have you seen it? Have you seen that? We don't want, so, yeah.
It's an LAUSD school.
Yeah.
Okay, the only reason I ask, is there was a very high speed accident right in front of Third Street Elementary. And the mayor and LAUSD got very proactive in terms of increased safety. But you might go see what they did around Third Street and then see if any of those same elements might aid for the situation that you guys have, and then reach out to your city council person.
Right.
Who's our city council person?
Which is Hakeem, that's the person.
And see,
It's Hakeem is the person.
maybe go do a walk and see what they did around Third, because it got a lot of attention and a lot of immediate, what kind of traffic calming things around it.
The mayor just.
And then meet with CD10 and then suggest some things that you think might be the most proactive and effective. And then see if you can get buy-in and first bring that to UNNC, and we would support it. Right.
Well, I
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
have an alternative thing to just say, because it relates to our item 6, which is one of the missing people, or is the subcommittee chair on transit. I mean, we have a mobility and transit subcommittee-ish, but our person has moved to the beach. So we don't really, so therefore we don't. So that these things emerge over time, but we have often had some interesting meetings related to traffic calming, transit, mobility, vision zero. So we need to, one of the things we should be working on this year is that might be one, to reactivate that committee.
But school safety and transit has to be a high priority.
Right.
Wait, what school was that? Third Avenue?
Third Street Elementary, it's on
It's in Hancock Park.
It's in Hancock Park on the east side of Hancock Park, just south of the Grove complex there. It's maybe 2 blocks down.
Yeah, yeah, no, thank you. I just didn't catch that. It was like Third Avenue, third, but thank you.
Make
I like that.
there's a lot of follow-up and you can also.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Any other public comments? Hearing none. Executive committee business. Candace, do we have any sort of treasurer's report?
Okay, so we are 2 months into the fiscal year. And so far, we have spent expenses to date $989.62. All of that is office stuff, so I went and did a deeper dive to see. And this month, public storage has officially gone up, it's 43. So we did talk last year about possibly finding a new spot. The 343 is up from 286 from last year.
Well, the 343 is actually up starting September, another 10 to 15 dollars.
Oh, more than, okay, yes.
More than that.
So we talked about finding some girls, so maybe we should. So, yeah, so
Public storage. It has to be within the boundaries of UNNC. Cannot be some.
And be a standalone storage unit.
You cannot,
It's not someone's garage.
that's still someone's garage.
no,
It
it's
can't
gonna
be
be on him, yes, somebody.
It can't be at somebody's house.
Has to be like a base. So,
Yeah, I mean, why we're in sticker shock. Not, I mean,
that's a lot of money.
it's a lot of money, but we also spent from 2003 when we started, 2002 until 2020 December. Free storage because it was provided at the former field office for Council District 10. And I thought one of the things we had said was we contacting them to find out, can we get space back in there, since it does seem that it's being used less by WASA, because Mark Ridley Thomas changed it from a field office to the homelessness services center. But that's falling apart. So is it possible for us to get storage there?
So reach out to who?
I don't remember. I would say Kamani,
Oh,
the top boss,
Oh,
or Danielle.
okay.
I mean,
Let's-
We can start with Danielle.
let's even Danielle. So
The field office is closed. The field office is temporarily now on Pico. But I believe their intention is to move back to this building on the west.
Because I noticed,
But I don't know how.
I drove up and down Pico to try to find it.
It's in the 5,000.
I know, and I couldn't find it, and then I went to the website and it used to do the downtown office, field office, and the field offices are no more.
Oh,
And
it's
I-
possible with the
Budget
budget.
cuts.
all the fields are.
I don't know,
We
I
only
was
had
kind of
one.
looking for
We
one,
only had one.
and so I just thought I would ask if there's been any.
I have knowledge.
Okay, so
I
just
don't know.
forewarned, we may have
But
lost.
they may have closed it because again, what I had understood was the intention
To move back.
is to move back to the bigger facility that the city owns. So, but we should get our request in really quick.
For the basement.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, so.
So because we did have storage free for many, many, many years. So while this is very expensive, if you amortize it over the prior 18 years, that's not, yeah, it's not how long I say it.
All right.
But there's the only other storage facility in our footprint. I mean, there's another box storage. I can't imagine it's gonna be less expensive at Pico and Crenshaw. But then there's one other unrelated facility, corner of Pico and Norman. On the southwest corner, so at the very edge of our footprint. Across from Saints, we know where we met, did the firefighters?
Yes.
Right across the street, directly across the street.
Oh, yes, that is, okay,
That's a big tall building, it's a storage facility.
okay, what's, well,
I don't
I guess we can research.
So
So-
let's just say it's not public storage.
Okay, so we will research prices, I'll figure out the name of the other storage place, maybe contact them. And then, so
And there is a public storage on Jefferson, just west of Crenshaw, I mean, just a few feet, 2 blocks, I think. Maybe, no, is it much farther? So forget it, it really is supposed to be within our footprint.
the only one that I know of on Jefferson is Jefferson and no, and they knocked that one. There was a storage at Jefferson. Back.
Oh, no, that's very too far west, I think there's not a tall building, but a sprawling building somewhere along the way, but it's.
Oh, wait, yes, it's on the other side before you get to.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's still probably too far,
okay,
but
so,
maybe not, I don't know,
so-
it just seems inconvenient.
so here's what we'll do, we'll reach out to Heather Hutt's office and then I'll look up the place across the street from the church. And see what the rates are for 10x10.
Yes, that seems.
We don't wanna go smaller, that's for sure.
No, we don't wanna go smaller than, because
Okay,
it's got our tent in it, I mean, it's got some
Unless
big
it's free.
things.
Yeah.
Then we'll go a
then
little.
we'll.
But our tent is quite large.
So the stuff that we've paid for so far, public storage, that's the big one.
Pizza.
Refreshments for
Pizza.
our meeting. And also we made the payment for the Ring Central.
Well, it made its own payment.
Well, yes, what we paid from Central, so we have our phone number still working. Still pending, but approved, but cut, they haven't cashed it yet. Is the money for Jefferson Park, that was $800. And today, the money for, the first half of the West Adams table fee was also approved, so that's outstanding. What else did I put? Totally approved.
Well, I have-
And then, vice presidents. There's a form that has to be filled out for us to do our donation or contribution.
Oh, yes.
To the Congress of Neighborhoods, and lo and behold, figured out I couldn't do it at work. So it has to be the vice president who fills it out and signs it. So when you do that.
Have you filled it out? Oh, so what's it?
That is that vice president.
Oh, no, so it's blank, does you know what, but do you know what he has to write into the rest of it?
I just skimmed it, it said I, the president or vice president, and then I kind of tuned out. That's the one.
It looks pretty straight.
But it's straightforward, and since we already have the VAs and stuff, I was going to submit that too, then I forgot.
So he needs to fill it out, sign it, and get it to you.
Yes. So, yeah, and then I can scan it and submit that. And then the update with family, so recap. Last year, the family requested some support.
And that's not that's later on the agenda.
Oh, my bad. All right, well, then that's the.
Okay, so, I wrote the president's report. I don't know what part of this is also vice president, so, the training, we have a couple of people now, Paula and Saunders, who do not have some training, we have to. So, I talked to Ed via email before the last board meeting, so he was going to take care of it, but it's still not re-upped. And I don't have Paula, I didn't text her.
I texted Miss Paula last week. Wait, when did we have our meeting? 2 weeks ago. Whenever we had our meeting.
Right,
And asked her if she wanted a ride home, because sometimes I would give her a ride and just to check her. And she did respond to me. She said, "Oh, thanks for checking on me. Still feeling a little iffy, so if I feel better, I'll be on Zoom, but no."
that's all right,
But, yeah.
that's all right, so I'm gonna obviously need to call her this week. Yeah, fine. So, because she didn't redo her ethics either, but, the red flag that shows up on the done website. Highlights that Paula and Ed have not taken Sunday. They seem to ignore other things that aren't. And then also Christina, it's still been totally, non-existent.
She tagged us on her Instagram story today, or yesterday.
Oh,
That was here at our voting.
so can
Yeah.
you take her,
She was asking, what was it? It was like they were like tents on, I don't know if it was her neighborhood or maybe when she was in, but she was asking if people, including us, would do something about the homeless issue.
Can you text/DM her and just say,
Where are you?
well, if you don't come to the next board meeting, it's sort of an automatic, she's not a member.
I can
It's not
do that.
exactly automatic, but it kind of sort of is.
Is an Instagram DM a binding?
No, 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 no.
contract?
No, if she's communicating that way,
Well, at least no, it'll say seen, so it says.
the whole thing, but it's like, can you contact me direct?
So
Or
we're gonna
can
make sure you have our meetings and you'll be
Yeah,
present.
there's something that, but is this private or public when you write something?
That would be private.
Okay, so as long as it's private, write whatever seems to be appropriate to get her even, I mean, ideally, she would just send us a note saying, I can't be on the board. Then we need not take an action, but if she doesn't, I mean, when we get to the agenda, we need to put removal of on the next agenda.
For the next one,
For September,
We're
yeah.
hoping you are going to be able to serve and we'll see you at the next. meeting.
Yeah. And but she hasn't taken her training, so Dunn will boot her. Even before, you know, I mean, that's the problem, she has
Yeah.
not,
Okay, I'll message her, I
mean,
kind
you
of
gotta-
jumping the gun here, but it's like a little too late at this point, I'll message her, but I do think it'd be like, if you don't show up at the next meeting, you're going to be removed.
yeah, well, yeah, I just don't know, I don't want that public. If it's
It won't be
pri-
public, no.
Yeah, if it's
You don't
private,
want people.
Clarity's good.
yeah, and to just contact us, because it's not the step we really wanna take, we really wanna know what's happened. Cause she was coming out and helping with some of our, when she was at Ciclavia, I mean, she was
Yeah.
helping and seemed enthusiastic, but she has not taken any of the training, and Dunn has told me she's not responding to that.
Yeah, and I've messaged her about,
Yeah.
website stuff.
Oh, right.
We need to-
So, you know, if this is the best way to reach her.
It'll at least say seen, so we'll know she saw it, and then we
Right,
can
and
say like.
is there a better way to reach you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, cause maybe she's got multiple emails and the ones that we have are not the ones she uses.
She's not getting the.
That's fine.
Okay, so then. The little I mean, Roman numeral 1, policies regarding in-person versus virtual attendance for UNNC officers and for board members. So when we voted on having the hybrid model.
Mhm.
What we voted was that officers, as best they can, I mean, there's gonna be times they can't attend. Not just executive in person, but the governing board in person. Now, that can't always be the case. But we had said, you know, we're gonna make sure there's people in the room. With this hybrid option. And then I can't remember, and Michael, I don't know how you store the VACs, or if you were even the person doing a VAC, because I can't remember when this vote was. What did we decide about the number of be on Zoom versus how many, any regular board member had to be in person? I feel like we had,
What the people online can't vote, is that what you mean?
no, so that.
I don't think we set a limit
That's-
because we were very proactive that the
Mhm.
Zoom gave a flexibility and a functionality that had worked through COVID, and we wanted to stay a high.
So
to have
that's
max-
what I'm not remembering. Did we say that there had to be, or did Don say, and we're just ignoring it, that there had to be a number of
I
persons?
do not recall. All I recall that if you're on Zoom, you
Yeah,
have.
that this is separate and apart from
This
the.
is just for executive members. This-
For governing board meeting, so let me back up. Executive is clear, it's just us. You know, we do the best we can. We aren't always all in person. I mean, we just are doing the best we can to be in person. Governing board ditto, we, you know, leadership does the best it can to be in person, but that's not always possible.
Mm.
I mean, I sat in the, you know, my car when I had COVID and brought a computer out and was, you know, not in the meeting. One month last year, I had COVID, I couldn't do it, you know, so that's just the way it is. Other people travel, you know, technically you shouldn't be, you should be in LA County to be on Zoom. We aren't really asking that question, but that's kind of the law, the actual law. But what I'm noticing is that some of our board members, we haven't seen in a year.
I don't know that we ever specified. An in-person minimum requirement, but I think we're always so concerned with the quorum that
Now we want.
We show up, you're good.
Yeah, we
Right.
want it to maximize success. It's not in the bylaws because the bylaw was written before. Well, it's not just that, we chose that it could be. In the standing rules, we didn't want to have it in the bylaws because there's only a window to change the bylaw
Oh, yeah.
once every 2 years, and since the law may change. Right, in fact, I mean, they're debating whether or not to change the law, because they have to extend it, or else we don't have Zoom at all. Starting January 26th. Well, I'm just saying, so we didn't put it in the bylaws for sure, but we ended up not rewriting yet the standing rules either. So we just have whatever resolution we have somewhere, but I couldn't find it in our officers stuff.
I mean, maybe there is some kind of rule, because we are always in the count of like, who's on Zoom, who's here.
Oh, there,
And then if you hit quorum in person,
Yeah.
then.
city attorney created an after the fact rule, so that there's another rule. And that is if we have, once we hit 13 people in the room, any board member on Zoom is no longer qualified to vote. They can still participate. They could even probably make a motion, but they cannot vote if we have 13 or more live bodies. So my real question is whether or not we already did something. Do we want to have a situation? I mean, I'm just concerned that we definitely have board members we haven't seen physically in here. Have we seen them consistently on Zoom? Fairly consistently on Zoom, but not physically in here. Not for the holiday party, not for anything at all. And that's just my concern. It may not be anybody else's concern. I mean, I don't.
Reach out to them and maybe.
No, I would have no reason to reach out for them if we have no policy.
Situation like that. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, I think, showing up in person shows that you're more engaged. I don't think that it would be a terrible thing to have like, a minimum of 3 times a year. That's not that hard for people. Maybe you guys disagree, but I don't know, that's
4 times, like once a quarter.
4 times a year, that would be even better.
I don't,
I'm ready this too.
I feel like participation on this.
so you think you're fine with it?
I'm neutral. If people feel strongly the other way, I'd be happy to support it, but I don't.
Chris, your thoughts? As a person who uses Zoom quite a bit, really.
Actually,
Well,
when this year cycle, but
Yeah.
I do have to at times because I have. But I think from my best memory, we never put a stipulation.
No, I understand. So I'm saying,
So-
forget what we
so-
may or may not have done, looking forward.
So going forward, I'm kind of on the fence with you. It's like, if there's a strong feeling that people need to quarterly, they have flexibility, but they have to plan to be at least 4 meetings a year in person. I'm okay with that. I'm still deeply bothered by the city attorney's thing that if you can't vote if we have, it's like, well, you're here, you're participating, you should be able to represent the people. But I just have a problem with that. If Zoom can happen, then Zoom's, you're in the room.
Yeah.
But that's, I don't get the
That's
sale.
a serenity prayer. Which,
But-
by the way, God grant me the courage to change the things I can,
Yeah, but-
the serenity to know the change, things that cannot, accept the things that cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Okay, well, maybe we make no change on this, and if we notice that things get worse, then we can revisit this.
This is looking so else, so
I'm reading the standing.
yeah, I don't think we ever inserted this at all. I don't think we inserted the hybrid
Well,
Zoom into this.
as a person who sometimes has to travel within LA County.
Right, I know, and you have a job that's far away now, I get it.
Yeah,
But
I
in the county.
think that. I understand your point of like wanting to feel like folks are engaged and when you're in person.
And you're looking at me, but Hunter said that too.
And it feels more engaged. But, I mean, I guess maybe you could, do you wanna make a rule that says you have to be there like at least once or twice? Like, I don't know if that's motivation necessarily.
I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, I'm just a little concerned.
right? So it's like, it's not about.
One of us does not live in the neighborhood. He owns a house on 20th Street, but he lives in Redondo. He had said that he's in the neighborhood quite often and therefore could attend in person when he first applied. But he has. I don't know where Showcase.
She's around here, I've seen.
Oh, yeah, she rides her bike around here, so she's somewhere around here. And since she qualified to run, she must.
I mean, yeah, if you guys aren't, I feel like we don't make any change now then, and if we're like, 6 months from now, 5 months from now, we can revisit.
We can just make a general re-emphasis that if people are able to make it in person, it's beneficial to your stakeholders to have little more frequent access, to know you by face, figure. So if you have an issue, that know where to find you, where they know you might be at a meeting, it's not necessarily clear they know how to find you on Zoom, but we can just emphasize the advantage.
We miss you. That's it.
More fun and fun, right? Okay, but we're not gonna change, we're not gonna establish policy, so, okay. All right, the next item is executive committee officers, tasks and responsibilities. So, some of these are defined and some of them are not. So traditionally, we have had the vice president plan the agenda for and run executive committee meetings. So, well, I mean,
No,
but it's not in isolation. I mean,
no,
it's like you send out and say anybody, have things and kind of we work together. But so I'm hoping you're gonna take on that task. Okay. On BACs, we've done it multiple different ways. Before I was presidents always did the BACs. But that was when we were in person. It was very complicated. So we would be sitting in person and the president would handwrite the BAC and hand it over to the treasurer who would sign it and hand it to the signatory who would sign it. It was all by hand. So we're not doing it that way anymore. And then when we moved to Zoom, I tried doing BACs, but it was really impossible to run a Zoom meeting and do the BACs. And then, so then Greg was doing that as treasurer. And then when Teresa joined the board, we asked her to do the BACs as secretary. So it's not signed, these are not about who signs them, this is who's
running the taking down of BACs.
Writing as best they can in the moment what the motion was. And then marking the roll. So it wasn't necessarily even them calling the roll. Somebody else could have been calling it. That would be hard because are they calling it in the right way? So we would have we have the secretary. So Teresa did it as secretary and Sarah did it for 2 years as secretary. This last year, Michael did it as signatory. And the question is, how do y'all want to handle it this year?
I'm fine taking it. I mean, the secretary is gonna be doing meeting minutes, right?
Correct.
So I'll be on the computer anyway typing, so I feel like it makes sense for me to do it.
Okay, so that's good. And then the other thing that I noticed this year was happening is that we were signing too quickly because sometimes what it said wasn't quite what the city clerk needed.
Yeah.
So we had to go back and change it. So what we would want is here's, what we do is in our officers Google Drive, we upload the unsigned BACs, but they should be live enough that they can still be, by live, I mean that filled spot still be in there. So it shouldn't have her signature.
We've come to an arrangement.
Okay, we got. Well,
Can you guys just show me like a quick 10-minute rundown one? That'd be great.
right, but you don't. Stand for
Forward action.
certification.
Vote on.
So basic. Yeah, it's called the board action certification, and we do them for almost every action. We don't do them for approving minutes. We don't.
Things we're gonna raise our hand for. Right.
Yeah, right. But we do them not just for funding items, so the city clerk requires them for funding items. But our policy, because their policies keep changing, so we just have our own policy, is we basically do them for everything, because we do need them. Also for planning and zoning kind of items, if we do a resolution and we want to go to planning commission and ask for 3 minutes to speak instead of 1 minute, because we're a member of council, they require a copy of the BAC. So, so it's, everybody has their own locked and good to have.
This.
Yeah.
Good to just have.
I need them for anything I ask. From
Right.
the treasurer, so anything that the treasurer does, anything.
Well, any receipt that I upload as a credit card holder.
Yeah, the
requires.
she needs them.
Well, I need
Anybody who uploads a credit card,
Correct.
BAC with it approved. Any like event, MPG, outreach, etc. Any of those things. When I do the request, I have to have the BAC that shows the vote. So I have to enter the vote. It has to be signed by myself and either the signatory and vice president and president. And they can't process anything at the city clerk without stamps.
Well, we're gonna have you signed up for your clerk's funding?
I'm just
In
gonna,
person?
no, I've gotta do,
Okay.
I wanted to find, is there a special, you said it was kind of.
The one I forwarded.
I can show it to you.
You got it. Find it.
Okay.
But anyway,
Okay.
once Chris,
Yeah.
once Chris
Yeah.
comes for training,
Mhm.
we have 4 officers who are able to sign, but I wanna check with Anna, because they probably don't want 4 people who can sign BACs. Meaning, I'll still hold the credit card, but it may be that I will no longer be able to sign BAC. Let's see what Anna says.
Could do both.
All 4 of us?
There's 5 BAC centers on my meeting.
Well, there you go.
And I'm the
I'm sorry,
primary.
we didn't introduce
I'm the
yourself.
primary credit card person and the BAC center. And
Okay.
something else center and something else. Center, whatever.
There you go. There you go. So that's perfect.
Yes, we didn't do introductions. We just kind of.
Oh, we just kind of went right into this.
We're away from the table.
No,
Did you get
no,
to introduce-
It's been a long.
Yeah, and then I just felt really, really bad, but I also felt that.
I know, I get it.
So, that
Children are part of our community.
Yes. Okay, so anyway, well, that's another task. So the only person who won't be able to sign the BACs is Hunter.
That's fine with me.
And so the secretary in this case would be you'll do the roll at the beginning of board meetings.
Mhm.
You'll do the roll for the BACs and you'll do the BACs.
Mhm.
And you'll take the minutes and they should overlap.
And those will all have to be uploaded to the website eventually anyway, so I feel.
Well, yeah, I mean, it'd be really great because we haven't been uploading anything to the website in terms of minutes.
When were the last minutes approved? February? That's the
Well,
last time we got minutes approved
Okay,
for
yes,
the winter.
so that aside, that we haven't even approved
Small
our
stuff.
minutes for this year, but I am not even sure if you go back to the year before or the year before, if the
Yes,
minutes
they are,
are.
they are.
Oh,
There.
Okay, so,
All there at last year.
so you know what your tasks for.
Yes.
So. What we are missing from our bylaws, what we're missing from any of our officers' duties, and it has become overwhelming, is letters, like a corresponding secretary. That's not one of the 5 of us, but the question I have, should we find someone whose official job doesn't necessarily write every letter, but we keep approving kind of, we'll write a letter on this, we'll write a letter on that. And I'm finding that I cannot write all of those letters in a timely manner. I
Isn't
try.
that what the CIS committee is for?
That's not really, letters are a little different because they're long. The community impact statements, CISs, we should be, those words should be at the board meeting and approved and we're done. I mean, they just have to be uploaded. But when we have authorized a letter that might reflect the bullet points as discussed, right? I mean, I've been writing a lot of letters lately because I have community members saying, where's the letter? Where's the letter? Where's the letter? And I've been doing most of them and I'm just finding it overwhelming.
Question, isn't a lot of times the letter gets written because an issue comes in and they want a letter written, right?
I've been trying to be much better at delegating
I'm thinking people are
to
coming,
those people.
people,
The
that if they're
people who
gonna
are
come
asking.
to the board to ask for a letter, they should bring a fairly fleshed out rough draft of the kind of letter they like. And I think,
Okay, but, and that's fine. My question is a little different.
okay,
My question is, should we have a single person whose task, whatever their title is to make sure all the letters that we voted on to write and send did get written and sent and then given to Hunter, because we are now putting those letters up on the website. Should,
That seems
does
like
that
a-
need to be
a
one of
person.
us? Or do we need another person to be our monitor for that?
I think that needs to be maybe a person, so it's one person that, you know, they've got the job, they know how to do the outreach, they know how to hand it off to get it to Hunter. And they single portal to give us updates on where we are. And if we get too far behind, and we, you know, maybe we have to at some point, they also have the ability to say, we need to pause on letters till we have X, Y, and Z done and hand it off and uploaded to, because, you know, you could either snow an organization with one letter, letter.
Oh.
And it's like the letter person could actually be a little bit of the traffic cop on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I know Caesar has been I was able to get out some letter timely that related to parks and trees, right?
Right, yeah, we got. it
And I
was
sent it
amazing
to
letter.
Caesar and he's like, using that letter with all these other organizations, so having the letter, it was an approved letter, it was sent out. I don't even remember why I wrote it in the first place, but it was
It was
timely,
very, very, very helpful.
and you're still
It was-
using it, right?
Yes, yes.
So, you know, so it's important, anyway.
I'm okay, like, cause we only get like 1 or 2, tops 3 to 4 a month, right? Like, it's not like we're getting a ton of them. I just feel like. Wow. I'm okay, like, you know, looking through the agenda 3 weeks later, 2 weeks later, and being like, hey, what happened to this? I don't know if I can write every single one, but if it's just wrangling them and getting them to me.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
I think if at the end of the meeting, we just keep like a spreadsheet of like, here's a letter, here's who's writing it. you know,
Yeah.
Here's the due date, and then
Yeah.
review that at the top and bottom of every meeting, like, what letters to the side, here you go, you write it.
Yeah.
We can write them, but as long as it's incumbent upon whoever brought the issue or whatever it is, you
Yeah.
want a letter. To your point, you must bring us a draft of what you would like it to say.
Well, I'm not saying I can write no letters, I'm just saying I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah, totally.
Then
So
we
unless
can-
it's really-
we can
take
figure
on-
out how to make
Right.
how to make that work.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, on minor council, we require them to provide a draft. It's not
Yeah.
an optional. If
Yeah.
you don't provide a draft, we will not. write.
Really.
Bingo, I'm with you.
Okay.
If you're coming in the door, you better bring something with you. Yep, I'm with you.
All right, okay,
But-
so
Yeah.
all right, so. I think we have resolved that. Hunter will be the person who's checking his own minutes. To say, where's this letter?
That makes sense, yeah, I don't even
Right.
have to, you're right.
Right, and then, but we are still gonna try and make it so that a person who wants a letter written. Brings it to a committee, because a lot of these are generated by committees.
Mhm.
Then, and I've been starting to do that. I mean, in other words, from our committee members on planning and zoning, I've been saying, oh, great idea, you read it. But it still requires editing. I mean, it still requires
Yeah, that's,
putting in the UNNC boilerplate stuff. I mean, it's not done until it's actually done. Okay, funding requests. We are moving on unless anybody else can jump in on this. Nope. That's. So, okay. Once I'll just stick on test one more time. So Chris, once you take the funding training, we do need to have a second card holder. A card holder, it could be you, it could be Mike, cannot be Candace.
Okay.
But it needs to be somebody who's around enough to use the credit card. Right now, we're allowed to have 2 credit cards, we only have 1.
Right.
And that's the one I have. So we'll decide, we'll decide.
Yeah,
Who
but I'll
does
try,
it?
can I take my funding on and do it tomorrow?
No, it's not a portal thing.
Certain dates, yeah.
It's certain dates,
Yeah.
it's on Zoom,
Okay.
but it's not a sit back and watch thing,
No.
it's a.
Yeah.
Right, like I'm taking it on the 26th and I've already got the Zoom invitation to be a panelist, it's like, what am I, until I read what it was, it's like. What? But that's what it is. Okay. Okay, funding requests. A, LA Korean Festival Foundation requests an MPG, you've got that on. And is that's me, that's you, okay, so why don't,
One of the other things I do in my life.
okay, why don't you
I'm a
introduce,
treasurer on my.
okay, tell us who you are and.
Hi, guys, I'm Angela Gilbert, I work at the Los Angeles Korean Festival, I'm one of the event managers. I mainly do all the permitting, so going to meetings like this is something I do, but not asking for money, really necessarily there to pay money. So yes, I'm just here from the neighborhood council, I think with you guys, because you guys border.
Which neighborhood council are you in?
I
know you're not here representing.
No, I'm from West Adams, but. The foundation exists in Wilshire,
Right.
which you guys were. So just basically the larger-ish neighborhood. Watch.
Mhm.
So yes, we go to actually a bunch of councils too.
That's it. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm talking to him, that's it. That was.
Yeah, I was like, I have it right here.
Right.
So basically, since we are one of the largest free events in LA, with about 350,000 attendees every year. We basically just want to help get the word out. That's what we're asking for, is the MPG is for outreach
It's
basically.
really around page 3. but
Yeah.
Something in.
Yeah, you wanna, this the one who
Here it
writes our
is.
grants stuff. Yeah, the purpose is, to create marketing materials, brochures, flyers in English, Korean, Spanish, Bengali. We can argue all day why we do Bengali, but
Because
Bengali,
you got little Bengali town in the area.
we also have Thai town, but we don't
Right.
need a Thai, that's a whole other argument. But yes, we do translate it into other languages, and so that's basically just to help us with marketing materials, because it is one of the largest CD sponsored events in LA, outside of the ones Heather Hunt hosts herself. It's very large, 350,000 people is a large amount of people for a weekend, which brings in, just the hotels we rent. Are probably about 50 rooms a night, just for our staff and people, that doesn't include all the vendors and everything else who has to come. And if you do not know, we bring in about 300 vendors from Korea, so they bring all their goods on from their little port to the port of LA to us, including fresh frozen fish, so large, huge tactical thing to get things here in a timely manner, but that includes like, bringing all those vendors in, they stay in hotels, they like, eat here, work here for the week of setup and the week after, so basically, it's a big giant event that we host, and so that's all we're asking, it's just for, as a person who's on neighborhood councils, I do know your budget has been cut.
Yeah.
So I did warn Yona that we would probably not get $3,000 because of that, but we are here asking for whatever you would so like to contribute to that marketing campaign. Because I was like, I'm not getting that, I was like, I'm just telling you now, it's not gonna happen.
I mean, that's over 10% of the budget. So.
Yes.
Last year on this?
Yes, we do. Okay, so the LA Grant Fest, we recorded last year. I believe, okay, so now the internet's working. I believe it was like $2,000.
Yeah, 1,800, 1,800,
Or
2,000,
1,800,
something like that, yeah.
If the internet will let it be great, I could give you the exact.
That sounds about right.
But yeah, that sounds about right. So here's the thing. We have already supported a couple of events. And the actual money we have left in MPGs right now, notwithstanding a rollover, is $2,315. So. We are supposed to get a large rollover.
Supposed to.
Some
Between
yeah.
10 and 14.
Yeah.
We would get
Right.
10 no matter what.
Right, so we're supposed to have a large rollover that's supposed to be sometime this month or next month.
Yeah, it hasn't been approved.
But it hasn't been approved yet, so the fear would be like. we could, yeah, how
Don't
much?
count your eggs until
Yep.
hatch, yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
that's
what
where
I'm
I'm
thinking.
at, so we're, you know, that's what we have left.
So let me ask, how, which is why I had wanted family to be here too. But how much money are they going to be asking from us? Is it still the 2,500?
According to Andre.
Who's family, sorry.
Malcolm had.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
don't, that's right.
According to him, but. Maybe it could be negotiable because it's a new year and our budget is less and. I don't,
But that's what,
Does
but that's what
but
they.
they're anticipating asking us 2,500 and we had voted to give them
Do it, yeah.
2,500 and that's part of that. But we'd also voted in that fiscal. No, I understand. So, but part of that, the 4,000 that's above the 10, 14. Is, I mean, technically, they let us keep the money they hadn't approved for family. Right, for this,
Yeah.
right, I mean, some of that 4,000 is the 2,500 we had already voted to approve.
Yeah. and they-
So we're hoping it rolls over. And the reason it didn't get approved was because the event had happened before we found.
Oh, yeah, that happens.
Yeah, so,
So I think 3,000 would be a little too.
3,000 is very high.
And
'cause
we don't have the
have
funds.
it.
Yeah, we don't have-
So I don't want to say, yeah,
Do you think you'll hear back about the leftovers
This-
for the next meeting?
at the officers meeting that we're supposed to get the letters in August about how much a rollover.
By the end.
By the end of the month.
Yeah, I mean, so the issue is for the city, the issue is that at this moment in time, there's an ordinance. Charter, you know, there's basically on paper law that says bank accounts. Yeah, over $10,000. So to not allow us to get the $10,000, it would require. Kind of change in ordinance, maybe in the municipal. code. Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal. It's not just a little council motion. So it seems unlikely that they're gonna do that. But I remain concerned about the amounts above 10,000. Because even though we keep saying, yeah, you're gonna get it, people are losing their jobs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I prefer our 4,000 over somebody keeping a job.
Hmm.
Frankly, personally.
Okay,
So, but we should be getting the 10,000, but I just don't think they're gonna be able to easily change the law.
Okay, so in this moment, right now.
We have
at this meeting,
2,300.
We have $2,350. Do we just want to be safe and say something like 1,500, which we know we have, and I can submit that next week?
I like submit it next week. I'll just go to governing
I'm
board
gonna
next week.
say something like after the meeting, cause so from the treasure space, you should be on this. Like sometimes we vote on stuff and my first year was the learning curve of like, we need to submit these things. So I don't want to, like, I want to do them as we approve them and like not push this off until September.
Oh,
or
God, no.
something, to where we are waiting for a rollover. So I feel like the smartest thing to do is just
Use the money we have.
use the money we have. If we get rollover, or when we get rollover, that's great, but not to overpromise in a way that then we're stuck, cause now we owe y'all 3,000.
So I'm a little more fiscally conservative because I feel like, you know, nothing in this budget environment is for sure. And I think you have to recognize we're only 2 months into the fiscal year and it shouldn't just be first invest dress and game over. I would suggest amount of 1,200. And because we still have, that leaves us 1,175 plus whatever we're gonna additional that we can cover not only family, but other events and organizations which are gonna be coming in the door for the rest. Again, I wanna go back to Kansas. What, on the 10,000 that we believe we are gonna get, have we deferred any other categories of expenditures?
No, because we don't have to do elections this year. So we probably would end up putting most of that in MPGs and outreach, because that's what we get the most.
Well,
In the retreat we were talking about and that kind of stuff.
Right, what, how much do we have in outreach right now?
We have. No, outreach.
They have it under operations, I think.
They do, but they usually break it. Does not look like we spent any, but we budgeted.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Uh-huh.
No, I know we haven't spent any.
One of the reasons I want that inventory of flyers as soon as possible is I think I have to print them on my personal printer. Cause we never didn't authorize printing them, so I can't use the UNNC credit. So I can either
For what flyers?
for the outreach.
If we need
for the
additional
festival.
flyers for our events.
So
Oh,
I need to figure out, can I afford to? Using my own card, buy the flyers and then have us go to reimburse,
I see.
or do we have enough where I can just? Print some more on the, my printer. Because we didn't,
A lot of flyers.
right, but what are they discussing, but what are they
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah. I know.
So what do you think?
According to this, we budgeted $3,890 for MPGs. And $5,500 for outreach. With the intent that we would put a lot of our rollover funds
Into
MPGs because
Mhm.
So we do have sufficient monies set aside in our budget, probably for outreach for the year.
And since this is an outreach.
Well, no, this is an MPG.
But it's,
Yeah, we can't take the money from outreach.
yeah, we can vote to move it.
Well, I mean, we can move it, but
Yeah, vote to
I don't
move
think it would happen before there. I don't know if we vote to move it.
Well,
October.
well, I mean, we could be moving money as early as September 5th or whatever the date is.
Well,
Well,
we
meeting.
probably have to go to print pretty soon.
No, we can't vote on their MPG till September, till the first of
Yeah, we have to
Meeting.
vote on it.
at the governing board anyway.
We
Yeah.
can
So
vote.
I mean, we can move money around, but I don't think we wanna have less than 5,000 outreach. I mean, outreach includes if Hunter comes up with a wonderful project that's not already funded for the website.
All right, so here's what we have.
But if you look in the concept of outreach, if our logo and our visual thing is gonna be present, an event that's going to have 350,000 people, I don't think any of our big ideas have gotten even close to that, no
And
matter how.
I don't, it just $5,000.
So. But you just killed your own argument.
No, I
Because
was
now we can go back to a higher amount, knowing that we can transfer some outreach. for that.
But my point was, if it comes from another category, yeah, I just don't think we can bank
Got
that in PG.
Would
Before we
you
have
guys have like booths that are available? Would we be able to?
If you look at it, so last year, you
Yeah.
had a time slot, yeah.
Okay.
And did you go?
I just don't remember if we paid for it.
No, they gave us.
Okay, well, that's like the time
Unless you guys be there, well, no, we provide them, it's all included, but, and then I was like, basically, cause you would have to be there all 4 days for 12 hours a day, so. No,
Oh,
neighborhood
I
council
see.
was that, so you get to sign up for like something like 4 hours.
So we can't do it like with the West Adams where we have the tabling thing and we just call it outreach.
Oh, no, we have to do an MPG, that's not a
We
problem.
can move money at a
But if-
meeting.
But we can move money in the budget from outreach to the MPG category.
$300, make it 1,500.
Yeah, so if you want,
That's great.
you want 15, she only wanted 12, but she's willing to do 15. If part of
pull
our
money.
little action is to move 300 out of outreach and into MPG. To cover
It
it.
would be two separate.
Yeah,
Yep.
of course.
Yep. We can do that in September.
And in fact, the way I like to see our agendas is the budget reallocation is way at the end of the meeting in case there's anything else that has come up.
Okay. So we wanna recommend to give half the
1,500.
amount, which is 1,500. And we want to move.
300 from outreach to MPGs.
To help support this action.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And that would be on the
Outreach
agenda, it's two
Yeah, 'cause you have
items.
your outreach timing.
It'll be two guys, I mean, don't worry about it, the agenda will be handled.
Okay.
Cause I mean, you know how we often have on the governing board agenda under treasurer, budget.
Other things.
Well,
budget
budget adjustment as, if as needed.
That's what this is.
We've done it before, like when we've had to
Yeah.
move.
Yeah,
the-
budget adjustment
Post
if
office
it has
hours on it.
needed.
Okay, so we don't need that to stay up on the screen.
Oh, no, so just reminding you, just because it is such a large event, make sure you have a ton of promotional material. Or whatever it is.
Okay. Oh, so I need a pen.
Or is that, so you'll need that too, to set up for whatever you're gonna order and buy for that.
And printed advertising is $1,000 worth of.
Just letting you know, since you're gonna need a board action to spend that money too. I was like,
Yeah.
I was making a list for you.
Yeah. It's on the agenda right here.
That's good.
Every material.
He volunteered to pull it out, might be doing
$1,000 for thing, is that what you said?
Well, or
That's
charge,
what we-
and or charge.
That's what we set aside for spending in this budget, I think.
Within the outreach of 3,000, 1,000 is for printing?
In the outreach budget, the
Yeah.
outreach budget is 5,500.
Okay.
1,000 of that, because
Within-
we talked about this
Okay.
last year, about probably needing to re-up on.
Okay, so-
Things.
So I know we're jumping around on the agenda, but since there's also Taste of Soul that we may or may not have a booth at.
That's the same.
Last
I
year
know it's the
we,
same weekend.
last year we shared.
Yes,
3 things.
yeah, CD 10 six, you got share one.
There's 3 things on the same
Wait,
day.
what's the other day?
Oh, we have a tree planting that morning.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Oh,
was like, I was like, Taste of Soul, yeah. I was like,
Okay, so
I got out of doing that.
That was a shared
Bigger
booth
council.
last year.
sure.
It was us and ECW. Yeah, empowerment.
Empowerment Congress West.
A question, where does this event actually take place? Was
Seoul International Park on the corner of Normandy and Olympic.
Normandy?
Don't worry, it'll have 5 streets blocked off. You won't miss it, because you won't get to
Okay,
it.
so we're gonna need a definite outreach materials printed for Taste of Soul. I mean, that'll be an agenda item, because again, I can't go to the printer with credit card.
Yeah.
If we haven't allocated specifically the
Yeah,
money.
you'd be like up to a certain amount and then spend less than that.
Yes.
I mean, I know where we can take it.
It's not a problem, I'm just saying, these are all agendas. Okay, so the motion you have made-ish.
Yeah.
Is
Can
to
we-
recommend to the governing board that we
Support the LA Korean Festival Foundation for $1,500. And we will move $300 from outreach to cover the amount to send
to help. We already have 1,200. Okay, all right, is there a second?
I second.
Can we vote? Is there any commentary from?
The
Is
one
that a
general
raised
audience.
hand or is that the mouse?
That's the mouse, right?
Okay.
The little hand on
I'm gonna
Michelle.
call for the vote.
Oh, that's me.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, okay, so executive committee members, please vote. It passes. Okay, update on the family, I've got the hyphen in the wrong place. I was
Yes,
told
I
today.
noticed that. I was like,
That was like, spelled bully.
So I have an update from the folks in family. I've been in contact with them ever since the spring. So we talked about changing the MPG because part of what they're doing, so the event was a part of it, but part of it was educational outreach to the community about Black history and Malcolm X and just the importance in the community that's part of our film, right? And then I got an update 2 weeks ago that they are taking it one step further and expanding the historical education piece. And they're working with Senator Smallwood Cuevas's office. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but on some parts of Crenshaw, they have like the sign that have like historical markers in it. This is the history and this is what happened here and in 1859 and exhibits, right? So they're trying to get that down Crenshaw further, especially by the train where they just started to go like by Obama, by acquisition. So they're trying to get these new things in place that would talk about, Sugar Hill and the neighborhoods around and. There's supposed to be like a scan the QR code and you can listen to it or it's interactive. So anyway, they said that, that's what the next step of their outreach is, and so that's what the MPP will reflect. When they give it to me, and now, in time for the September exam. So that means you be voting on, but it's an ongoing thing. So I don't know what their timeline is with actually starting the building. They are also getting support from the senator's office, so.
Well, the senators put things of a cultural district declared for South Carolina. That would be now from Brea to Figueroa.
Okay.
Adams, Southton, Swabash. It's huge. It's huge. Then they still have to spend this money and provide. Well, what receipts, we don't just,
No, that's
they
not
do.
correct.
Okay.
They do not need to provide us any receipts.
Okay.
We usually have.
We might have
The report.
And we usually haven't done that. What ends up happening is when folks ask for the any MPG, and usually there's an event tied to it. So like I'll go, Laura go, or we'll tell people like the CBI dance folks. Didn't report back, but I went to their dance concert and they shouted us out and put us in the program. So I guess this year we want to make a practice of having folks like, there is a technical report.
Yeah.
I told the CDI lady, but I feel like there was also a lot going on in my life and her life, whatever. But maybe have folks come back and just say, hey, these are highlights.
So many people came, this is what happened.
Yeah, so we can do that.
Well, we can definitely do that. We used to do that. With little presentations. It was so much easier to have presentations that ended up cutting into our board meetings when we were 100% Zoom, because if it ended at 10, we weren't keeping some worker up at the building, but now we're really having to finish our meetings as best we can. So it's not
in elevators.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's a
so I
3
think we can invite folks and
or
when
a
we
3-minute elevator.
they're have to come back to be there.
Yeah.
This is what we've done, this is what we've learned.
That's how we're gonna want it.
Okay.
Before my promotion happens.
This.
Yes.
Yeah,
so when
you
it's
know,
Oh, well, you know what? Before you leave, do you know that they do this as a haunted house for Halloween?
Don't tell me that.
She's like, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, so we can do that, like people have reached out and asked, it's just me remembering to.
Well, noting that the problem is it's essentially the city has no ability to claw money down. So there have been NPGs over the years where they were well intended and then didn't end up being used for the same purpose as requested. So an example is that there's the William Grant Still Center. It's a cultural center on Adams, right off of Adams. It's a great operation. They have a Friends of the William Grant Still.
Okay.
And they were going around and successfully getting money from MPGs. Because they were going to be publishing a 20th book for the Black Doll. The annual exhibit, but it's 20 years. But anyway, after they had gotten approved, had gotten lots and lots of money from lots of neighborhood councils, somebody at Cultural Affairs said they weren't going to do a book.
Oh, they just decided.
I did that. No, we're not going to do it.
They just kept all the money?
Well, they used it for, I mean, they are a legit Friends of.
And they use it for active programming in the
Right.
community.
Yeah.
But
But it wasn't, they couldn't
they have
give it to
this
a book that
support
wasn't
came
gonna
from Cultural
exist.
Affairs.
Yeah.
And then Cultural Affairs pulled the rug up, like,
Because cultural affairs owns the center, so that if through no fault of their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It
was
just
well intended.
never happens, so, but that happens.
Okay, with follow-ups and
Mhm.
now that I'm in my treasurer's shoes, they'll email me, they'll still email me, but like I have no contact, so I can tell folks to, hey, come back, tell us about it.
Right, so we just need something that's not amorphous. So I know exactly what they're talking about because they're also on Figueroa and Adams, these.
Yeah, I've
these-
seen them around the
I
city.
forget what they're
Downtown.
called. Well, on Figueroa it was called Angels Walk.
Mhm.
I don't know if
Yes.
they're still called Angels Walk. And I don't even know why it was
There's
Angels.
just historic
Walk.
signposts that have a chronology.
Right,
of-
and the ones over on Fig and Adams are literally in front of the landmarks that they're talking about.
Mhm.
And it would be great, but the thing is, that's not Sugar Hill, so I mean.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
No,
so
I
like,
like
and all that.
I like more of the
historic
focus.
area, yeah, that are.
And hopefully it's not limited to African American history, which is my thing that I'm most fond of, but once they're in our area, we have Japanese heritage as well. And some Jewish heritage, so maybe
I feel
we'll
like,
talk to them
I
about
feel
that.
because it's, as a former state senate staffer, I feel like because the area is diverse and they're working with the senator's office, the senator usually knows that when you do initiatives like that, you have to highlight all the cultures that are in the area. Cool, I'm sure she.
All right, upcoming events, UNNC participation in the Jazz and New Stars. This is a 3-day event. I need to know if anyone here is gonna adopt any one of the 3 days. I mean, in other words, we need to have somebody in charge of each of the 3 days. I was gonna reach out as well to committee chairs to see if any of them want to have a day for, one of the, it can't be the whole day, because it's from 5 to 10 each day, it's evening, 5 p.m. to about 10 p.m. each evening.
But the table usually wraps around 7:30.
Because it didn't have lights, but we now are getting lights.
Oh, is that what? I just thought everybody was like, oh. the party's
Because UNNC didn't have any lights.
Oh.
So if we have lights, we don't have to wrap. I mean, we don't necessarily have to stay till 10, that is a little bit late, but the point is, I wasn't gonna ask any committee chair. Any individual committee chair if you want from 5 to 10, that seems too long, but do you want to focus time where some of you and your fellow committee members, I'm thinking Elizabeth and the environmental committee members, or Karine and public safety, where you can do focused discussions about, earthquakes or climate change, I mean, in other words, just see if we can get some of them to get some of their peeps to the booth, but I cannot be the person in charge of 1 or 3 days.
Oh.
Because as you are probably aware, I'm in charge of a different booth, same time.
I do have a question that's about that, but then like larger. Now that we have like a new neighborhood council, we're starting the new year, we probably need an outreach team.
Oh, yes, I didn't say.
Well, maybe we should.
Yeah. See,
On the agenda.
it was on the agenda last month. and it's
On the agenda ahead of the thing, because the outreach chair would technically coordinate.
Well, the outreach chair appointed on September 5th will have missed this event. So, and in the, traditionally, it would be our avenues area reps who take on this test. So we have 1 vacancy and we have Michael Kimbrough, and he has not responded to me, but I can't imagine that he's gonna take on 3 days.
Why, it's just a shot in the dark, but, why don't we ask someone from the Jefferson Park HPOZ to step up, and because we just gave them.
Well, we can give them a 3-hour slot, but we need somebody who's in charge.
Of the setup, the takedown, the table.
Right.
Well, so shouldn't maybe a rep from each of our regions be?
Okay, every single board member should consider being there for some period of time. We have
Yeah.
3 full days to fill, but there still needs to be somebody coordinating it all. I mean, so again, I can't coordinate it all. I'm gonna talk to the committee chairs because they may not necessarily be board members.
I see, so
Right.
because this is basically.
This is an all hands, 2 weeks,
Well,
all
yeah.
hands on deck. But are you doing your vendor booth?
He never emailed me back. Well, I did email, it feels like a big undertaking. I think I'm off on Friday.
Oh, yeah, we have this big day.
That's the problem, yeah. So I don't know if I have to do it for 3 days or if I could just like work out one day.
I think you can do one day.
So
Okay, well, let me just.
if I do it for myself, I would probably do Saturday and Sunday. So then maybe I could take Friday in the coordination.
Okay, well, who's not in town that we
I'm
can?
not in town.
Want to,
I need to talk to.
the boss?
Do it with the higher ups, yes.
I'll be here one of those days. I need to talk to my dad first, so if you
Okay.
guys can let me.
Well,
work out with him,
what-
and then.
so
I'll pick
somebody,
one of those
okay, I
days.
think I'm looking at you, whether or not you're here, do you know how to set up on Google a sign up sheet?
I'm happy to do this, like a sign up.
Oh,
sheet.
okay.
If
Which,
that's easy, yeah,
and then I'll send it to her.
yeah, so I guess,
People can sign up, and what do you think in terms of shifts, you guys? Again,
5 to 10.
well, it is 5 to 10, but that 9 to 10 PM is
Basically,
really
I think
louder.
we shut down by like.
I was gonna say, to set up at 4:30 and then,
We start at 5, so. People are told to come at 6 and grab their seats. I mean, it's the general.
really an
So
evening.
it's
Everybody,
so
yeah,
seven,
so hour and a
beginning
half
at 5
slots,
o'clock.
so people come from
2 hour.
5 to, an hour and a half slot to 5 to 6:30 and then 6:30 to 8.
I think people, because alcohol is served at this thing, right? So.
Yes. Well, you can buy, well, yes, you have get drink tickets. It's
Yeah, but it's
served-
not, like folks are not getting lit. I mean,
Oh, sorry.
Well,
not that kind of.
it's not, yeah, it's not,
quite,
there's not like a beer.
no, it's wine, no, it's not, it's wine. There is wine. You
Okay, so
have-
whoever's coordinating has to show up at 5 to set everything up.
Mhm.
And then we keep the booth open and then somebody has to be there to break it all down.
Well. Because you set it up the last time.
Yeah,
On the
for
Friday.
the cyclovia. Right.
No, last year, I remember it was like one of your first things, you helped set up.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Do you remember, do we take everything with us or just seal it up,
You can
put it
leave it
underneath
there.
the table?
And
Oh,
you put
yes.
it under the table. And
Right.
You set it up Friday and then you break down on Sunday.
Right, so you just haul it.
Yeah, I think you took it, I don't think we needed to take it down every day, right?
No,
I think
no.
we just set it up like one day.
It's just, it gets moist out, so you don't leave paper on the
Yeah, so
table.
you put all the paper back, but whatever setup is on the table. And like when I had the tent, they just said lower the tent but they
Yeah.
had security on the street.
You know, we didn't even lower our tent, but we did put everything in Stacy's house because it gets moist.
Yeah.
So we meaning a different thing.
Yep.
Okay, and so you'll set up a Google.
I will, so.
And I think
it-
between.
it's 5 to 9.
Maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, let's say 5 to 9.
You can stay over if you want to.
Lots of 2-hour shifts, one set up and hang out until 7, one start
Seven
at
and
7, take out at 9.
Yeah.
In terms of getting stuff to there on Friday and taking stuff back on
Other
Sunday, is
issue.
there?
Yeah, other issue.
I mean, I'll take it on Friday.
If you're not, did you check your calendar? Are you working that day?
I might be able to be here.
Right, because the other big deal is the tent. It's, how does the tent get there? It's huge, it's heavy. It's not my tent.
Is it an easy app or?
It's not,
No,
no. Well, the tent you're thinking of is my tent, and that's not gonna be the one you guys use because that's where we use it. I mean, we'll be using it.
A tent over.
You know, when we purchased, we have a UNNC. Well, I just don't know how easy it is to pop up. I can just tell you the reason.
it's
why-
easy with 2 people.
Yeah.
If
But
we
it's-
go over there and do an inventory this week, why
It's
don't you
big.
take it out and
It's,
see
you
how.
just need like 2
Yeah,
people
you-
to go like walk opposite ways. Yes.
Okay.
So here's the deal, it can be brought in anytime on Friday, because the street is mostly closed.
set
Pretty
up
early on.
People are setting up like the food vendors that have like the generators and all that stuff, so you can get their room.
You can get there
And the
around
street-
3 or even 2.
Yeah,
to
the street
deliver
is
stuff.
open, you can pull up, so you don't have to like haul it down the street.
Yeah, so
You can
actually,
set up.
yeah, I mean, by 4 o'clock, it's closed. Pretty much.
All right, well,
Well, I'm saying that because, you know why it's closed that early and there shouldn't be, is because the kids are already out on their scooters up and down the street because they think it's closed. So it's no longer safe to have cars.
okay, well, either way, I'll do Friday.
I'm going to say on the Google spreadsheet, even though Candace is saying she's doing it, we need to have also Friday, say 11. Yeah, Friday midday, pick up items from storage. I mean, some people can volunteer, even if you're the one who signs up to do that. And then Sunday, it's the take down, but also take. You know, unless Jeff is willing for us to stage it back on his porch, he might be. Jeff can't lose them.
Oh,
So it might be that we can stage back to his porch and not worry about.
Driving off until Monday.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, the person who leaves on Sunday isn't gonna wanna go to the storage.
well, they
that night,
can,
You know,
too.
oh, but the next day is Labor Day.
It's probably
You know,
open.
the day
Labor Day.
off also, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, it's so exhausting by the end of the 3rd day, we just leave our shit. But however, that may not be a good idea,
Okay.
but the
I'd
street
say-
stays closed.
I'd say send
I
out
think
the-
Jeff can't porch up.
send out the thing, and then this is where we also include a nice little note, remember that slideshow?
Yeah.
You can be the
Well,
slideshow.
yeah, wait, pretty much everyone, if unless you are out of town, really should plan to be there. Because it's 3 full days. It's really hard to have 1 or 2 or 3 people cover. So however we want to say it, but let's get it set up. All right.
Name tags in inventory, by the way.
Are there what, who?
Name tags.
I don't think
UNNC.
so, I think we were looking for them last time, we couldn't find them.
So something that would be great to have, now that you just said that. I love the little lanyards that you can put your name tags into instead of having to paste them on for board members, if we can figure out where to buy 25 of them.
Except if you're seating at a table with your lanyards almost
Mhm.
always.
Yeah. Well, that may be true, but if you're sticking it on here and you have hair longer than yours, your hair is getting stuck in it and it falls off.
What about magnetic
Flip
things?
to yourself.
What about magnetic name tags?
Well, I'm just saying, can we at some point look into getting,
Tags, sure,
well, not
or some sort of.
something that's not just
Yes.
stickums, okay,
Big tattoo.
Magnetic badges, like.
Yeah.
My TFA badge is like that, where it's like your name, and then that you work for them.
and of course, I'm gonna respond further with Chris. We aren't supposed to be sitting down at the tables, we're supposed to be.
3 whole days.
I know,
I'm
we're gonna be
sitting
sitting. Okay, we're not even going.
down.
Okay, vacancies on the UNNC board, unfilled committee chairs, tasks, functions, okay. We definitely need an outreach chair. No, there was, nobody raised their hand last time. Now, I will say David Osai had indicated he might be interested in doing it, but he wasn't physically present.
Did we ask for an outreach chair last?
I think it was like a co-chair or something. for
He-
outreach
we've been-
and Election.
Yeah.
People who are interested in outreach.
I sure hope so, because we really need an outreach
I feel
chair.
like there are a number of new people who express.
She's good.
Yes. And then the next thing is managing, I'm saying it more broadly, UNNC storage.
Oh, I didn't even realize this was on the agenda.
Yes, look, 6A and C.
Yeah, so I'm happy to tackle that at some point with you this week, and we can just go and look at all the paperwork and all that
Right,
stuff.
but it's also, I'm intending to imply. The owl and the computer sits here, lives here at South Seas House and then has to come to the board meeting. And I really can't be the person, and now neither can Candace, because she has a new job. She She changed jobs.
Job is all the way in Compton, so I
Yeah.
have to drive, and
Back.
I can't leave until 5.
Right, so we cannot count on.
They're
cameras.
watching.
So we need someone who reliably will come over here sometime during the day on Thursday, first Thursday of the month. Grab our stuff, learn how to use it, take it to Gramercy. Know how to set it up and get it set up on time, and then pack it back and bring it back here on Friday or Saturday.
What is the problem is the computer, Right.
And the owl,
but we don't use the owl here, so we could leave the owl at the.
if we
Your
think it's
location?
safe enough. We could leave the owl there if we feel that that closet is safe.
Yeah, I think the thing was, the closet is open, so like, see how
Yeah.
this is a locked cabinet, if there was a locked.
Well, it's a locked closet.
thing.
It's
It's
a
a
locked,
closet is, but like
Other
the thing
people
within the
use it.
thing. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah.
it was like a locked cabinet of some sort. that we
Inside,
could-
in the
inside
owl.
closet.
The owl is the thing that we use in our big meetings, that's.
Oh, the table.
It's like a speaker and.
Is this another one of those things that has to be in a public storage area? Cause my house is like literally.
Oh, it was at my house for the first 8 months.
Yeah, I had it in my house for a while too.
Yeah.
The problem
Well,
is,
don't look the other way, but if you wanted, for example, you say, oh, I'll keep it at my house, that means no matter what the circumstances in your life.
You gotta remember to pass it
to be
It has to be, yeah, it has to be at the governing board
Yeah.
meeting by 6:30 on the night of the meeting. And so if you're in town, if your father is ill, if you have a job, it's.
You can have a buddy. Hunter and I did it, cause I'll be
Yeah,
like, oh,
totally.
I'm about to be out of town, Hunter, and then I'll just drop it off, like we would meet up, and I would give it to him. So that it wouldn't be in my house when I was.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be the owl. Carrier or the backup owl carrier, however the.
I think the issue is the computer though, right? Like, because the computer they need to
Do we
use.
technically need to use that computer or?
No,
do
we
see
could
that
have,
be-
we could have a sec,
I have an old MacBook, I can just like.
it can be set up with this system.
Only
I
one
don't
way to
see
find
why
out.
not, yeah, right? It's old enough that it has all the ports on the side. That would sound easier to me than coming here and then going to the other meeting location for each once a month, that's annoying for anybody. to have.
Well, I mean, it is.
That's
annoying.
6 o'clock. you're in
And
my
especially since it ended up with the last committee meeting, somehow converting itself to a different system. And yeah, and the what is that called? The poly thing wasn't following. We were lucky because there was only 2 of us and nobody had signed in on Zoom. So it didn't matter, but it would have mattered had it been this.
And we only really need the computer for Zoom and YouTube live stream, right? Like,
Yeah,
And
if
to
a
put-
Mac can be set up to accommodate this technology, there's no reason.
I feel like that would be an easier solution. I'm okay to donate that, even if it's just like a temporary solution, until we figure out something better.
Right, and but I will also say it's less of a problem for me to pick just the computer. I've worked 3 blocks.
So the issue is the owl?
The issue is I can't set it, I mean, I don't want to be the person,
Oh, I can set it up. I don't mind doing that once we're there. I
If
just
you-
can't commit to
but I also, but it would be nice if we
Yeah.
get that task
that
also back to multiple people
I
doing.
thought we all took turns each month and
Yeah.
whoever's month it was brought the fifth.
We
hours.
did.
That's what I was
Too. You remember the meeting melee about food and refreshments and all of that. So then it just became easier
To
and so they
control,
ironed that out to just charge it and just do it on the card instead of reimbursing, because remember they were
Right,
tripping
yeah.
about what people were ordering and what kind of food. And so it was just easier to get Subway or pizza because they were
Right.
literally thinking.
and now they've loosened it up, but I still know the rules. But if, yes, it would be nice if I could just pre-plan order and somebody else goes picks it up every once in a while. then-
I can do that too, that's fine.
Well, you can't do everything.
Well, I know, I can't compare to pick up the computer, but I can.
I think one of us can pick up the food.
Yeah.
1 month we pick up.
I
the
like
food.
that, and we set it around to.
Sign up.
I think that there's also a space where some of the things that folks have kind of picked up over time, at the next meeting, we can just say, not raise your hand if you think you might want to, here's the sheet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Pick your month,
Pick three,
pick your meeting.
or pick two things, pick a committee, and pick a date to be. And that's kind of how you have.
Right, and if you don't wanna put out the money, make arrangements with credit card holder.
I think
Yeah,
there's
some
some people which you can order it if that's the thing that makes the most sense, so we don't have to do the reimbursements.
Yeah, and then
No, I understand, but what I'm saying is some people aren't gonna plan it far enough in advance to arrange with the card holder.
Oh,
They're gonna, and or anybody who wants to bring Wingstop, can't use the card.
well, why, I mean,
Well, the
we
point
could
is,
just simplify
we
what we
Because
have.
it's a MasterCard.
let people sign up to do it, and then we'll clarify the hows and.
Okay, sure.
But
Okay,
get volunteers.
I agree, yeah.
all right, we do, well,
Everybody.
more people need to be more engaged, so at the moment. We need all hands on deck, hopefully, at Jazz, we need. More people helping us with meals. We need an outreach chair,
Mhm.
we need. More participation in our committees, and again, sort of a general reminder, I guess I need to send this email out. Anyone who is a at-large member actually are required, that's in our standing rules. To be participate in one committee. That can include this committee, this is a committee. So anybody in this room does not need to go participate in another committee if they don't wish to. And then anyone who is an area rep is supposed to be kind of monitoring agendas. Because if there's an item on the agenda that about their area, since they represent their area. They need to, and so we haven't done a lot of chit chat about that either, so we need to do that, okay, getting going. So approve agenda items for, it's not August, it's September's governing board meeting. So clearly we have this funding request. Clearly we have a budget adjustment, $300. We have we need to allocate $1,000 to print outreach materials. We don't have to specify what those materials are on the agenda.
It's already in the budget, so we just.
Yeah.
BAC.
Yeah, we have to have a BAC for the actual expenditure. And we do not have to have a pre-invoice because this is out broadly speaking. The question I want to know is printed outreach materials and or tchotchkes or just printed outreach materials.
Okay, so question. When we were trying to hurry up and spend money in June,
I don't think we
we
did.
didn't get a chance to, I know we talked about.
But what was it we were talking about ordering?
On the credit.
Like
card.
giveaways, is that what you're?
Yeah, like giveaway items, when we were trying to, after they didn't approve, family, and we had the money. Maybe we found out they were rolling over, so we stopped, but I know we talked for sure.
Homeless.
About ordering
Yeah.
like more flashlights and more.
Wait, what's the little flash?
Biodegradable plates.
We bought those.
Oh, yeah, so we
Plates we
talked
have.
about.
We haven't used them yet
Okay.
because we
There's so many other plates.
because we agreed we would finish the other one, so that's one of the things I'm saying, it's like, I've got those stupid plates, I'm storing crap. For UNNC, stuff for UNNC, I want to, but I'm gonna have to, I mean, it seems dumb to move the plates into storage just to pull them back out. But-
Flashlights is a good idea.
Yeah,
Also, like,
the little flashlights, that's right, that's what we were talking about. I don't think
I
we
think
would
we
though.
have some, we definitely have some in storage, but I don't think how many.
That inventory before we get too tangled up on what
Yeah.
we're gonna add to the.
No, but what I'm saying is it'd be nice to know if that's in the $1,000 that we do. How much money should I put on?
Reach material.
It says. $1,000 in outreach for printing and other outreach material.
Yeah,
Don't
They're very vague about it.
so that's fine, that's not what I'm asking.
Printing and advertising.
And spit out what you have.
What I'm asking is on the agenda itself. If we also want to buy promotional materials. Do we want to make it more than 1,000?
And I would say
Not right now.
Okay,
not-
It's actually gonna only be 700, because we're gonna move 300 from out.
No, this is a different.
Yeah.
This would be its own item, this would be an expenditure.
Yeah.
So
right now.
it would just be
yeah.
$1,000 for printed outreach materials and for promotional items broadly.
Yes, because it's a.
For
printing and-
upcoming.
UNNC
It's where UNNC makes.
Yes, printing and advertising.
Okay. Okay, well, it's in the budget, but I'm saying we still have to.
Yeah.
Pay for it. Anything else for the agenda? I know there's gonna be at least one
For the agenda,
planning
can
and for
someone
this September
at
agenda.
least bring a list of what committees that we generally have. I'm gonna claim being new here. I know they're on the website, but if we could at least like bring those up on the screen and like have a
Sure.
productive discussion about.
And Teresa had put it in the July agenda pack.
Oh, man, like, there is a July.
I think it is a sheet too, I was looking for it.
Yeah, that talks
And-
about
Yeah, what,
responsibilities and committees and positions.
yeah,
Let me look in it.
There's a lot of them.
there's a
And
lot
honestly,
of.
we may can get rid of them on a moment's notice, so if there's one that you don't see, we can start it.
Right, but we also need to. Get serious about our representatives to the various alliances. We can and should have 3 representatives to the South Los Angeles. SLANC, the South Los Angeles
Awesome.
Alliance,
First year.
Area Alliance, something. Yeah, they meet the 3rd Thursday of the month. It's the South LA Neighborhood Council.
Mhm.
SLANC, I just don't remember exactly what it stands for, but we should, but the only people who get to like be. Elevated in Zoom to their faces show when they get to vote have to be voted on by the neighborhood council, and we submit for. So none of our. Most recently voted upon SLANC reps have been participating. They don't have to be a board member, they can be, somebody from the community. And default is the president. So I've been able to go to the last 1 or 2, but I was vice president. So I could, but I don't necessarily routinely have time on that particular night either. So we need to do that. We need to have 2 budget reps.
I think this can all go under the
Committee.
agenda,
Yeah. I mean, I tried, it was on last month's, on the August.
Yep.
Agenda, but we didn't get to it because we just didn't get to it.
Okay.
And then the other thing is, I think less important, but is LANC, which is the citywide Los Angeles Alliance of Neighborhoods.
And the budget.
2 budget reps. The budget reps is a citywide system and they elect the advocates. So we don't get to choose an advocate, but we are missing 2 budget reps. Okay, my pocket is ringing and I'm sure I'm being. We're almost done. Is there anything else on the agenda? And again, I know there's 1 or 2 items.
Just a reminder, I won't be here for the next governing board meeting, so the computer and how stuff, we can start.
Pardon?
We'll sign.
So if someone wants to take the communications committee, you can give it to them. No, but I'll bring the computer in October and we can try that out and see if that works better.
Well, so I can take the owl home and just see if I can set it up with my Mac, and if I can, then that would be a proof of concept, and then.
Yeah.
And you live somewhat close to me too, so.
Yeah,
Unless you really wanted to be the owl custodian, Siobhan.
the Apple wranglers.
The Alex.
And I don't wanna take owl custodian.
Keeper of the hour. Doesn't matter to me.
There you go.
I think it's just a USB-C, so as long as your computer has that or a support.
It's just a plug and play.
Yeah, you just plug it in and then you plug it into like an outlet and then it's pretty much it.
And then I don't know if there's saved credentials for the Zoom or.
I can share it.
It's in
No,
the-
There's a folder that gives you all.
Where do you live?
Like by Oxford and Washington.
Okay, so if you ever, if you get the flu or something, you need someone else to ferry the owl, I can help.
Yeah, totally.
Any of us can help.
We can.
It takes a village to raise an owl.
Just put on a word
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've been watching all those cute videos of predators, what are they called? Birds of prey. Putting owls. They're very cute until they have something to eat. Not so much after that. Okay.
Can I ask a question? Does the council, now that everyone's been installed, do we have a meeting or a workshop session or something to discuss what our goals are for 25, 26?
Well, that would be if we have a retreat.
That's right, there's been.
And there's been some discussion of a retreat. Candace really wants to do one. Well, it's not that we think we should or shouldn't, it's just getting it together. Typically, we have been doing it when we used to do annual retreats, they were in October. Quite clearly, we're a little busy that third week of October at the Korea Fest, Taste of Soul, tree planting.
Could be the first week of November.
Yes, I know, I'm just saying that,
Yeah.
I'm just saying in the
Give me the
past.
calendar.
And also in the past, it was really easy to just say, let's do it here, wherever here was, not here, but we did it at Ally Coffee, but not, I mean, in the room behind it. We did it, I mean, you could do it
At
at
the
the library,
library.
space, we did it at the
Big community
library,
space at
but
the library.
now with the city clerk, we almost have to do it at a city-owned facility to avoid problems. Problems meaning getting insurance, do they have insurance, even if we have insurance, who's the food vendor, blah, 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 blah. But if we do it as a board meeting retreat, then we can do it, we can pay for refreshments without going through all of that. So it just takes some logistics, because what I really had wanted to do, since we're building a relationship with South LA Cafe, they also profit, was to do it in their back room, but I am realizing that that will cost us money. Because just the insurance alone is $350.
We can do it here.
Potentially, but again, it would have to be. Well, it'd have to be on a Saturday, obviously. And the question would be, can we do it for free, or we're gonna be paying a facility fee? We can ask.
What do we do for the candidate social that we did here? That one wasn't-
We did not do a facility fee.
Yeah.
So, but the other thing is, the retreats that were really great in the past were actually subject content oriented. So we had a presentation
Mhm.
on our demographics, and that was so long ago that would be well worth seeing. We did planning 101. I mean, we didn't do a whole lot of, here's the bylaws, you need to read them.
No, we're talking about just focusing on.
Right, but I mean, they were more focused on team building than and meaning an interesting presentation and team building, and less focused on how to be a board member.
Like a mini Congress of neighborhoods.
Correct. Oh, yes, that's the other, yeah,
Going to sign up for
okay, so
that.
you wanna know, you want more orientation, but haven't you been getting emails from Dunn about?
I wasn't looking for an orientation. Yeah, I've been getting plenty of emails about trainings and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking.
Well, not just training, I mean, they're having some how to be a board member thing, but.
Yeah, I mean, I've attended where I can. What I'm talking about is. It is a retreat like object, or a workshop like object for all of us on UNNC to get together and decide what are these going to be for this year. Like, what do we do and what do we not do? Like, more importantly.
Well, I think. My answer is. I don't have a problem with that, but I'd still wanna have some content.
Yeah, you can do
Driver in
both.
the
Yeah,
beginning,
totally.
You can do
and
both.
then take our little break and then. Change to,
Right.
let's talk about goals.
I mean, I can, I'm happy to modify the workshop format that I use with clients. When we start working on a strategic plan, I work with executives all the
Yeah,
time.
but those are people who have. Consistent and compatible goals. We
Not
may have.
always.
Not always. But what I mean by that
You've
is,
probably sat through one of these before.
I have some,
I've been at a meeting like that today. We do not have.
we have a 23-member board and realize we have vacancies. And think of it more like the Miss America, everyone has their own
Mhm.
platform. So we have 23 reasons for having, and visions, for having joined the board. So how do we
get 23 down to 4.
So we have
Yeah.
one purpose is to serve our mission to our
So-
community.
Okay, that's all, but that's not my point.
Because as a person who answered those questions, I feel like there are a lot of through lines that have just happened. And if we like look at the patterns of things we voted on, things we voted to support, things that cause more debate than others. I think there's more commonality than you are
Alluding to.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I don't mean that we're fighting with each other, I'm saying. So I also have run or participated in many, over the years, many board retreats, which is different than a workplace retreat. Because board retreats do tend to have, again, a little bit more diverse. Viewpoints as to the goals.
Yeah.
So one of the exercises one would usually do is, it's too complicated for what we do, it's called paired weightings. So that you've got 10 goals and they're like across and which is more important, this one or that one, this one or that one, this one or that one, and you end up coming to a conclusion that these 4 things from everybody's answering of those questions have higher numbers than some of the other things, but that's way too.
Well, that sounds perfect to do before the retreat, so that way we can come in all knowing our rankings already and focus on that.
In the same space as Siobhan, like in the new org that I did, they just had a retreat like this to set the goals for their goal. Work. And I have all the consultants papers with all of the exercises and practices.
Right.
And so in like nonprofit education land, they do stuff like that, but it's not as heavy. So like you have gallery walks, or you'll have like, here's the thing or pair, what's the worst case scenario if we don't hit our goals, it looks like this. So I think that you can take that and put it in a more workshop-y, everybody move around and also teamwork format that could also.
Right, so, and keeping in mind, we also would have to do, now we're drinking our coffee right at the beginning. Why did you join the board? Why did you join the board? So this can be 6 hours, we don't probably want to do 6 hours. No, we don't want to do 6 hours.
You can knock this out in about 4, okay, so.
Even with the topical element to it.
Like
that
this
provides
teacher
space.
insights 101, that's what they used to make us do first 2 weeks. So
Right.
there's a way that you can team build and goal set simultaneously.
So while you were out of the room, they said early November would be a good time. As opposed to October.
October's kind of a fat calendar.
Yeah,
Just
why? What's wrong with the early November for you?
Or like November 1st, yes, November 7th,
I don't have a calendar in front of me.
I didn't bring my phone.
Here we go.
Resources in front of me.
September 1st, Saturday. November 1st is Saturday.
Okay, so,
I mean, are we gonna be able to do all that in notes in November 1st?
okay, so when is the 16th of October? Are there 2 weekends left in October after the 16th? Or
Oh,
one?
sorry, people watching.
October 16th is a Thursday,
Or that, but that week?
but the 18th is a Saturday, and the 25th is a Saturday, and then the 1st of November is.
Okay,
I like the 18th.
we can't do the 18th.
Okay, why?
The
Because we have.
case
three
is so.
things that day.
And tree planting.
I'm like in the 1st of November. We're still like 1 day out of October.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have,
That's Chip has not said.
Day after Halloween,
yeah, I don't have,
Oh,
I don't have stuff with me.
which is, yeah. Isn't Halloween, I'm not.
I'll even help set it up and everything.
Okay,
31st is Halloween.
no, that's not what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say, I can't say while we're. Okay, well, the board will have to vote anyway,
We could give them two dates to choose from.
mhm.
but that's gonna.
November
I have nothing with me.
1st will be Dia de los Muertos.
Okay, maybe that's not great, I don't know. Board,
Do we think like early December is like too close to the holidays?
Yes,
Like,
we definitely
into the new
think
year?
Yeah.
we did, okay, but my question really was gonna be, is October 25th? The weekend after all those other things, but the weekend before Halloween is Saturday, the 25th of October, a decent day.
I like that day. Either of those.
You like that day?
I like the 20th.
Great,
I can
me
do
too.
either.
Yeah, we can give people the choice.
Yeah.
I prefer the 25th.
I like the 20th.
Okay, well, so we're gonna aim for the 25th. I'm still gonna call Norman. Our former secretary, who's a walk on demographics.
Okay.
And he.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Yeah, so, cause it ties in that tells us who's living here, who are we representing? So if we can get that information, it'd be great. It would be like 20 minutes, not 4 hours.
Okay.
For that. And then Siobhan, does this start sounding like what you want?
Well, it's not necessarily what I want, I'm just thinking in terms of like all of us, some
Setting
of us
a
are
guidance.
here, kind of like setting some, gosh.
Actually not on board. But
But
I-
UNNC, so I feel like I understand, like Dunn does it, but for our own UNNC.
well, she's actually, it's more like vision setting. Mission
Okay.
goal, not.
Just getting on the same page as we hit the new
Yeah.
year, you know? All
Do have some themes going on. One of our themes right now is, our area faces a problem with canopy and tree equity. We need to be more green. Caesar today at a meeting that I was at, he's not here anymore, but said it's becoming clear that we almost need a master plan for lighting and parks. So that's one thing. You know, coming out of planning and zoning, we really need somehow to figure out how we move forward to maintain the character of our community with what's happening with laws in Sacramento. So, so that's a really different theme, but how do we provide housing that connects to our community, not housing that's more expensive than our community can afford, right? So not anti-housing, not pro-housing, but proper housing. So the character of the community is defined in more than one way. An economic character, which we would have learned about if we can get Norman Gilmore to give us a demographic thing, but also our bylaws actually say we're interested in historic preservation of the community. So that's that mission statement. But we have other things going on. How do we continue to help do we help? I mean, it's one of our missions, our immigrant community. I mean, is there anything we can do? And is that one of our primary goals? What about emergency preparedness? That's been something we've been working on for a couple of years now.
Mhm.
So that's the thing, is start balancing, because these are all really unrelated things, but how do we work them together? All right, we gotta go. Okay. So how do we find the next president sooner?
I'm going to stop recording.
And then you need to turn off YouTube before we exit the meeting. Oh, bye, Michelle.